Hello everyone, Tone here, and today I wanted to look at Dream Quest. This is what many people refer to as the original roguelike deck builder. Its reputation is of the game that looks awful, but has like really great game design and mechanics. And that's what got me to play this recently was the umpteenth like respected game developer that just praised the heck out of it. So I finally decided to give it a try. And here we are. I've spent about 10 hours playing it, and we'll talk about my experience with it as we play through a game here, and I'll give you some early impressions. So part of the reason I'm getting into this is like a bit of like a game history study for me. I mean, I'll check out any game that people recommend, but a big part of the appeal for me at this point is just like seeing what this game's influence on the genre has been, what games have influenced it, and just kind of seeing where its place in like the history of these games is in the context of it. And just to give you a little background on that, this game came out in 2014. Some other deck builders that came out before it that are not roguelike deck builders, but deck building games are Dominion, 2008, Ascension, I believe 2011, Netrunner, 2012, and then after Dream Quest, the big one is Slay the Spire, 2017, early access, full release in 2019. But Slay the Spire left its mark well before it hit early access or left early access. It was very popular and already like leaving huge influence. So, and I'm actually like, after doing this, I'm a big fan of Dominion already, but I actually picked up Ascension the other day. I'm gonna go through Ascension, Netrunner, and check out a bunch of these. So just like I've been going through a bunch of dice games, and that's not even over. I'm into card games right now too. Is there anything else that we want to talk about, or should I get right into this? I think we'll just dive right in. So I guess, is there anything to look at on this title screen here? We're playing on the normal difficulty, which they call Grizzly Bear. They go with animals, I guess. So Kitten, Grizzly Bear, Velociraptor. This game has meta progression. There are achievements with unlocks. From reading like forum posts and whatnot from people who are like really into this game, like a lot of people are, you know, come in and talk about how hard this game is. That's pretty common with like any roguelike. Like most of them are pretty hard to start. They say that unlock some stuff. They say that the game gets significantly easier as you unlock these achievements. It looks like I have like maybe around a little under half of these unlocked, close to half of these. So that's something to be aware of. You start with a few classes, and then there's 10 unlockable ones. I think I have 4 of them unlocked. There's a bunch of standard archetypes here: the thief, the warrior, the wizard. I'm gonna go ahead and play the monk. I played this for the first time a day or two ago, and it immediately struck me as very strong, maybe even OP. But it also was like one of the most quintessential like deck building experiences I had in the game so far. I thought there was like a lot of flexibility in how they designed their deck. A lot of them like the thief plays action cards, the warrior plays attack cards, the wizard plays spell cards and mana cards. They all have these archetypes. The monk does a little bit of everything, which I thought was interesting. And after playing the full run, like I was like enamored with how they got to do everything. I think they actually only get like a tiny slice of each type of card, so maybe they're not as flexible as I think, but I need to play them more to find out. But yeah, let's start with them. So I'll just read this here. Followers of a secret order, monks devote their lives to mastering their bodies. Through perfect control of the physical, they seek communion with the divine. While their combat abilities and healing spells make them fantastic allies in combat, many adventurers secretly prefer monk companions for their vow of poverty. So everyone starts with an ability. We get Meditate. Every 4 combats, the monk may enter a deep trance, which allows them to forget one of his cards. So that is really strong. Card removal is very good in this game. So that's why I immediately saw that and went, wow, this is going to be a strong class. Let's go ahead and pick the monk here. There's like a loading screen there that I never managed to see because it loads so fast. So I don't know if those are some tips or what, but I missed some text there. By the way, this game originally came out on iOS. I think it came out on Steam the same month. So I don't know if they were developed in like tandem with the PC port. I guess it had to some extent, but a lot of the UI design is made so you can play this on like an iPhone, basically. So literally everything is done with the mouse. I don't think anything can be done with the keyboard, which is a little unfortunate. I wish at the very least I could like escape out of menus and stuff sometimes. But that's why it's like that. I will go ahead and read through this real quick here. A strange place. So nice of you to join us, Master. As your eyes finally adjust to the light and catch the sight of the speaker, you quickly close them again. Tentatively, you open them slowly and stare at the hideous creature floating in front of you. Maybe a foot tall, like an enormous red bat with leathery wings, horns, and a spiked tail, the imp sneers at you. So, are you ready to go? We've got monsters to kill and corpses to loot. Everything around you is filled with light. The only break is in the fluffy white clouds that tickle your nose as they pass by. Wait, clouds? Foolishly, you look down into nothing. Only sky as far as the eye can see. You wave your arms wildly, hoping that can somehow keep you from plummeting to your doom. Your companion laughs at your predicament. Hey, genius, if you weren't falling already, did you really think a chicken dance is going to help? Huh, I guess you're not falling after all. On the downside, it looks like all of those monsters aren't falling either. A voice carries you to over the light breeze. Beware the Lord of the Dream. He has flaming knees and a devastating sneeze. When he beckons, all must give him gifts. Flee, flee. I'm not going to read all of the narrative flavor stuff in this game because honestly, I don't think it's that interesting for the most part. So this is just the intro. This paragraph is always the same. This middle one is about the level you're in. The environment you spawn into is random. And then this last piece I think has like a different rhyme every time for this quote here. So there's a little bit of procedurally generated like intro text here. So we start off, we get to choose a talent. And I have a lot of these I need to unlock still apparently. But for now, I can gain 5 health. Whenever it says gain health, it's actually max health, so that'll be max health. Gain mana. This is a card upgrade. Gain the flee ability, allows you to run away from combats. Crumble, all walls on this dungeon floor are removed. Teleport, gain the teleport dungeon ability. Smash, gain the smash dungeon ability. Preparation, gain the ability to reset the cooldown on your other dungeon abilities. So some of these, like this is the wizard's base ability, and this is the warrior's base ability, so I must have unlocked them from playing those classes. I'm gonna go ahead and take preparation because our dungeon ability allows us to remove a card from our deck, which I already mentioned is like really strong, and this lets us do that more often. So, in this game you start off on a board, and we can't see much here. We spawn next to an enemy and a health pickup. So I don't get to show you much of the board yet. It's not always as tight. We'll just look at the UI a bit here. And by the way, so to get it out of the way, this game, like I said, the reputation is it looks awful, but has like good core mechanics. So you can see how not great this game looks. I'm not going to harp on that too much. As a study, I think this game does a lot of things wrong. In particular, I don't like a lot of like the UI UX stuff, which some of that is partly from it being a port from a phone app to the PC, but also like the tutorialization, I don't think it really explained much at all. It took me many hours before I even realized what some of this did, and most of that's because I wasn't playing classes at first that utilized some of this stuff. Once I played the wizard, I understood how mana worked. I didn't really know before that. It took me a while to figure out how actions worked. So as we go, I'm going to actually explain some of this in case someone decides they want to play this game and the game itself doesn't explain that well enough. I'll try to explain it, so maybe that'll help someone out that's looking to play this. and mentioning people that might look at this and end up playing the game. Another reason I'm doing this video is because I don't think everyone should play this game, or everyone would enjoy playing this game. Like I said, it's an older game, and I'm enjoying it as just like I said, a historical study. But you know, you can probably get that experience just watching this video if you want, and not, you know, spending $10 to pick up the game and play it if it doesn't look like a game that appeals to you. So I think one of the reasons I want to put this video up there is so that people can experience this without having to spend money on it and play it if they don't want to. But maybe you'll see something you really like and decide to play it, or pick it up and play it as well, and that is awesome as well. Also, speaking of the context of this game, so this came out in 2014. To put it in so we already talked about where it falls in the context of deck builders. In the context of other roguelikes, what would have been popular at this time are Rogue Legacy and FTL. Games that have pretty good UIs and look pretty good. So I can't fully absolve the poor graphics and such of this game just because of like the time that it came out. But every game doesn't have to look great. I put so many hours into playing NetHack, and that game isn't all like ASCII and such. So trust me, I'm the last person that's going to criticize a game for the way it looks. Although I do think ASCII is beautiful a lot of the time. A lot of games that implement it. But with all that said, let's jump into this game for real. We have a deck here. So our deck has 9 cards. We have 6 attack cards, and these can be from level 1 to level 4, and you do 1 damage per level. So I have 4 attack cards and that do 1 damage, and 2 that do 2 damage. A mana card. This has 3 levels, and it gives you 2 mana per level. That's level 1 for 2 mana. We have a heal card. This costs 1 mana. It's a spell, and we gain 5 health. And I have Slice, which is an action. It costs 1 action. It deals 1 damage and allows us to draw a card. So attacks are red, mana is blue, spells are purple, and actions are green. There's some color coding going on here. Well, this is health that gets automatically used when I walk over it. So we might as well fight this griffin first. These early fights are kind of brainless. I don't really think at all when I'm doing them. But let's just look at the fight UI for a moment here. Over enemy portraits up here, you can click on that and you get a griffin, level 1. There's a little bit of flavor text that says not to mount. They have 1 action, they get 1 card per turn from their deck of 11 cards. They have 4 out of 4 health and 0 mana. We have the same stuff here. Health, we start with 2 mana, 1 action. So the mana that we have on the map screen, I guess we'll look at that. But basically, your mana stat is how much mana you start with at the beginning of a fight. You don't gain that every turn. You have to play cards to gain it during combat. Actions you get every turn. Cards you draw, so we have 2 card draw. That's our hand size. So we draw 2 cards at the beginning of each turn. You don't have to play all of your cards. So I could play 1 attack and then leave this here. The next turn I draw 1. So we go back up to that 2 hand size. I don't draw 2 and end up with 3. So I'm going to play both of these, and you can also discard cards freely if you don't want to play them. So this guy just played an ability Fly, so I can't actually damage them this turn. It doesn't matter if I play or not, just end our turn. They played it again. I don't have damage this time, so I gain mana, and I played Heal even though I was at max health. So we're going to play Slice. Again, this is an action card, which deals damage and draws a card. It took her action point and it drew a card. Then we're going to kill. And by the way, this is an end turn button. So we'll go ahead and kill the griffin. You get gold and experience every time you kill an enemy. And the experience you get is equal to their level. And that griffin could have been level 3 if we fought them somewhere else. The same type of enemy is used at various levels. I feel like that music got a little louder. I'm going to turn this down just a tiny bit. Sorry if there was any issue hearing me over that. It seems like I checked that at the beginning. The music track got louder. I don't know when that happened, so apologies. We got a random monk name here, Alan the Anointed. We got our portrait. This is our health, this is our experience bar, so 1 out of 2 experience. We have 19 gold, 2 mana, so we start every fight with 2 mana. 1 action, we get 1 action every turn, and our hand size is 2, so we draw up to 2 cards every turn. Oh, I forgot to use my meditate ability. The cooldown on abilities inside and outside of combat are based on how many fights you win. So I just missed out on a turn, basically, of cooldown on this because I didn't use it beforehand. I'm going to remove some of these weak attack cards. I'm going to use Preparation, which resets all my other abilities, so I can play Meditation again. We're going to delete 2 1-damage attack cards. And I will explore here. It's a level 2 Vampire Bat. Let's just go ahead and fight them. So, like I said, these early combats are pretty brain dead. This guy used Vampire Bite. They deal 2 damage and gain 2 health. Play mana, play our heal spell. We're back to max health. Grab Slice and hope it draws some damage, and there it is. Oh, I should have played heal. That was a big flaw. Well, not really, because I'm about to level up, which fully heals us anyways. But yeah, you can't play cards in your hand once the enemy's dead. Leveled up, so we gained 4 max health and fully healed. Knowing like when you're going to be leveling up based on experience and like what enemies you'll have to fight, so you know when you get that full health heal is pretty important. And we get to pick a bonus. I can get 1 extra action per round, or I can grab Ward to prevent the next 8 damage that would be dealt to you. 3 mana spell. That's pretty good. I'm going to take the action though, because I think actions are hard to come by. So if I find another action card, we'll be able to play more. Okay, so it seems like this level opened up for us after we kill those 2 enemies. So you're on a map, and you can explore as freely as you want until you're blocked by an enemy, basically. This part of the game I feel really uncompelling because it's really a solved strategy until you explore everything. So the first thing you want to do is click on every tile except for the enemies and the health just to see what your options are. And then we can decide what we want to do. So in this case, we have these, which are shops. This is actually the boss, level 4. We have an elite stone golem here. I think both of these would wreck us right now. We have these health things. This upgrades a card, and then it does 1 for free, and then you can spend more money. So let's go ahead and upgrade our mana. And we can spend 5 gold to upgrade again. And this cost just keeps going up. You want to keep upgrading cards. And the health heals us a little bit, and then disappears once we step on it. So we don't want to fight any of these, so I'm probably going to go over this health, even though I'm at full health. Let's see what's in the shops. Great Bow. So this is another type of card we haven't seen yet. This is Equipment. So this deals 1 damage for each action card you play. The way Equipment works is it goes into your deck, and if you play it from your hand, it stays in play. You can also unlock equipment slots as you go through a run, and if you put an equipment in an equipment slot, then it starts the game in play, and so you don't have to draw it from your deck and play it. Inner Focus, draw 2 cards and discard a card. So this is net 0 draw, basically, because it costs a draw to play it, or to get it. But through discarding, I guess that lets you draw through your deck faster and get rid of some, like, if you have, like, junk cards in your deck. Salve gives us 3 mana and 3 health. Mana cards you can play for free. Actually, all your cards you play for free, except for spells, which cost mana, and actions, which cost action points. Pendant, equipment that gives us 2 mana at the start of every turn. Haste, draw 2 cards. In addition, you have a 10% chance to gain an extra turn. I like card draw, that's pretty nice. Circle, draw a card and gain 1 action. So this basically, because this costs an action, this is basically like a free to play when you first play it, because you replace the card in your hand and you replace the action point you spend on it. And then at the end of your turn, you draw a card and gain another one. So the next turn you get another benefit. This feels like a really good card. And I look at action cards kind of in the same way I view cards in Dominion, where you want to know if like a card is like terminal, if it's you know, based on if it's not giving you action points or card drawback and such. So this is like it's like free to play basically, and then it gives you more bonuses the next turn. Both of these cards are really nice. I'd like to get them. I can afford one right now. I don't think I'm going to spend my gold yet though. So nothing's up there. We have a level 2 Pixie over here. Let's go ahead and just fight her. So you can check what the enemies do at the bottom of their bar down here. They have abilities sometimes. This generates 3 mana each turn. Slices damage and draws a card, so... no reason to play heal. Just play our cards there, mana and an attack. Ooh! Fireball for 8 damage. Nasty. Overall, not too bad of a fight. There's a level 1 Griffin, so we should be able to kill them quite easily. And actually, first turn kill. Alright, we have leveled up. We got 4 more health and maxed our health here. So we have learned Diamond Fist. Our damage is piercing. Okay, yeah, that's really, really strong too. The monk is pretty good. And we can choose to either get another action or get a cleanse. These bonuses are random, by the way. Sometimes you just get like actually things that are like actively bad for your deck, which is unfortunate. We do a lot of cleansing already with our meditate skill. So I'm gonna take another action here. We don't have anything to spend these action points on, but they're hard to come by, so I don't mind grabbing a few early and then finding cards to use them on. Let's see. I'm gonna grab the circle card now that we have action points. Alright, that's an easy turn. So that guy applied poison to us. Our opponent becomes poisoned too. So poison, it's just like poison in Slay the Spire. At the end of your turn, take 1 damage and you will lose 1 level of poison. So we took 2 damage at the start of our turn here. As you can see, a lot of the action cards I'm picking up like replace their you playing them from their hand with a new card. It's pretty nice. Alright, so our meditate recharged. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of another level 1 attack card. This guy dropped a chest. You can open them and they have free stuff in them. So this says Backstab. Deal 1 damage plus 1 for each action card in play. So if we got a bunch of action cards and we're consistently putting a lot in play, that could be pretty good. I guess I will go ahead and grab this. Stone Golem. Can't afford anything else. We could get an upgrade if we wanted. I'm actually afraid of the Stone Golem. So what? We have 2 cards that replace themselves, so I'm drawing 3 cards, 2 cards per turn. We might lose to this. This is I don't even have anything that gives us more damage. This technically does. I don't know if I want that though. Because that's basically a 1 damage attack card when I don't have action cards in play. We'll fight this guy, but I don't feel great about our combat ability yet. All we have is the boss and an elite left. Let's see what happens here. Mana and heal. So this guy takes half damage from fire, earth, water, and air. So basically the elements. Or they just play Crush. Destroy an equipment card if you do deal 3 damage. We don't have equipment, so he's got a lot of health, and we don't do a lot of damage right now. We'll see how this goes. I guess that heal helps us draw out the fight. So he just played this. I think this is a big damage card. Deal damage equal to 1/5 of his current health, rounded up. So he had 13 health. So actually that was only, what, like 3 damage then? Alright, with our action cards, we actually draw through to our damage cards pretty frequently. Our deck's not quite as bad as I thought it might be, but this is still like a long fight that I feel like could easily not go very well. That heal card's kind of a lifesaver in here too. Alright, we took down an elite, the stone golem there. And that leveled us up again. We got +1 card draw, that's gonna be huge. We can choose either swiftness, gain 2 actions, and draw a card. So this is basically +1 action. The card draw and one of the action points replaces everything that it takes to play this. Or we can cleanse, delete a card from our deck. I think with how much cleansing we can already do with our abilities, I'm gonna take Swift here. Which is actually just more actions, so it looks like we want to find actions to actually spend our action points on. But that's basically free to play, so I don't mind it. And I can go ahead and delete this last 1 damage attack. Now we draw through our deck and play the 2 damage attacks. I'd actually like to get like a stronger attack in here. Maybe it's worth picking a backstab now that I have 3 action cards in a small deck. What else do we have in here though? Corrosive Slash deals 6 damage. I think that's earth damage. Frost does 2 water damage. Kick does 1 damage and your opponent discards a card at random. So this is like a disruptive card. It's probably pretty good early when enemies don't have big hands, but probably not great late. We have 24 gold. I wouldn't mind this Corrosive Slash. This would boost our damage by quite a bit. But I don't have the gold for it. I would really like that haste as well. I afford anything that will help us that much. Just 2 damage. Let's take the backstab. I think at this point that'll help our combat. We don't do much damage. We didn't really find anything except for that Corrosive Slash that really helps our damage that much. So let's see how this boss fight goes. By the way, a lot of cards don't have an upgrade to them. But mana does, some of these basic attack cards do. Alright, what do we have here? Cumulonimbus, level 4 boss, full of hot air. Takes no damage from air. Dude, half damage from physical? Oh no. And that rounds down. I don't know if we can beat this guy. Let's see how this goes. Wait, why did that do damage? Isn't that physical damage? I thought they were supposed to round down. Oh well, I'll take it. That did oh, we do piercing. We're a monk. Our damage is piercing. Ooh. Okay, that's our savior. I don't know if we could win this fight without that. Backstab for 2 damage. Monk OP. What did you do, Cloud? Your opponent loses all mana and actions. Wow. So I can't play Swiftness or heal. I can do 2 damage. I'm just going to discard these. I guess there was no reason to discard, whatchamacallit, I can't look at my deck, the Swiftness card. Oh my god, he did it again. He took all my mana and action points away. This guy is annoying. I guess I'll keep Slice too. All action cards. Hopefully we're gonna draw 3 cards here too. Hopefully we get that backstab. There it is. This is gonna do 4 damage. This is a rough fight. Oh, I can heal now, though. That makes me feel a lot more comfortable. And we got another big backstab. We almost drew through my entire deck there. There is what? Just a mana card in here. That was a close fight. And it leveled us up. We can pick another action, or we can start with 3 mana. So again, this mana, so we'll have 5 mana at the start of the fight, and that's it at the start. We don't get mana every turn from that or anything. So I'm going to keep taking these actions, and this is what I was saying about the monk, how I feel like we can kind of build into attacks, spells, or actions. The first time I played this guy, I actually had a pretty spell-heavy deck. But now it seems like we're leaning pretty heavily. I mean, we need to get the cards for it, but into like an action-based deck. And we got quite a bit of gold from that. So what was I eyeing here? I like haste a lot. Oh, we're looking at Corrosive Slash to get a little bit of damage into our deck. I'm actually not sure how good that is overall, though. 6 damage isn't a lot. Although I guess it's pretty good for now. Or would it be cheaper just to upgrade my attack cards? And we could delete it later if it becomes not great later. I want something that does like 8 to 10 damage. I'll take the Corrosive Slash. I think that's going to be a big help, even though I don't think it's a good card. We have 3 damage cards, or 2 damage cards, that 2 attack cards that do 2 damage each. So adding one that does 6 helps us a lot. Alright, so we move on to the next floor. We get to choose another talent. The talent pool grows as you move on, so in addition to what we could do before, we could also just get a free level up. We can get 30 gold. We can get another action. We can get an equipment slot. So like, I don't have any equipment for that. Or we can copy a card in our deck. Copying Circle wouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna take that equipment slot. Preemptively. Alright. We're in some kind of dungeon, it looks like. I didn't read the flavor text. So I'm gonna do the thing that I said you should do, and just click on every square. And then we'll think about the game. Okay. We can fight one of these 4 enemies. We can use this and see what's behind that. Or this is new. I haven't seen one of these in a while, actually. I forgot this existed. This is a mushroom patch. So what this does is it generates 8 green mushrooms on the map. And you have to pick them all up. And they have random effects, good and bad. Then when you come back, it lets you copy a card in your deck. I wouldn't mind copying a card in your deck, but I don't know how resilient we are right now to some of the negative effects. So I'm gonna wait, and maybe we'll come back to that. Actually, not. Actually, let's just do it. Okay, I was wondering if all 8 mushrooms were connected to where we were, but it's not the case. Because in the past, I was always able to access all of them, but I never found that this early. So this guy's a level 7 elite. We're not going to fight them. We just healed 4 from stepping on that mushroom. That one just healed us 4 again. That one teleported us randomly. Ooh, that could be dangerous. That put us like over here. And it was like a dead end, and we had to fight this. It would have been like GG. Alright, so we have a level 4, level 5, and a level 6 enemy. We'll check out the level 4. Okay. Should have played Slice first. It was a pretty good turn. You'd have 10 health, or maybe at lowest 8 if I did not have I didn't pick up that corrosive, so that's doing pretty good for us right now. I don't have the mana to play haste. I can just discard that. Oh! Chaos Prayer, choose one at random, heal 5, your opponent loses 2 actions, your opponent discards 2, or you take 3 damage. He just killed himself with the Chaos Prayer. I love it. What a Chaos Disciple. That is every Chaos Disciple's dream. We found a treasure chest. What is in here? Another equipment slot. That's pretty good. We just need to find some equipment now. The Wraith. I forget what the Wraith does. Oh, so it took me like 6 hours to realize this is a thing, but if you click on the X up here, it pulls up a menu. It doesn't close the game. And there's actually, you can access the bestiary. You can see what these enemies do, which can be helpful. So let's see what the Wraith does. Disruptive monster, resists physical damage. His special card, Soul Crush, is blocked by most defensive abilities, so try to maintain a defense as much as possible. Tips. Soul Crush is always played first, so use whatever you can to block it. Armor is particularly effective. What does Soul Crush do? I don't have any defense. That bestiary, by the way, it only populates after you fought an enemy, which is kind of counterintuitive, because a lot of the times if I have never seen an enemy and have no idea what it does, that's when I want to know what it does most. And the game will only tell you what something does after you know what it does. I was actually fighting one of these tree ants once, and I was like, I don't know what this does, I'm just going to fight it because I had limited options. I knew what the other thing did and I didn't like it. So I fought this, and it just completely hard countered my freaking deck, which was brutal. It has an ability where you can't do more than 3 damage to it from a single source. And it had like 100 health. I think it had 99 health. Which means you have to do damage to it at least 30-something times to kill it. And it just... My deck was built around actually just like 2 or 3 like high damage cards. It just destroyed me. Which kind of sucked. I know part of these games is like... You just play them again because they're fun to play, but that still sucked after, you know, playing the game for like an hour or whatever. I'm afraid of that Wraith with no defensive cards after reading that. Maybe I'll fight the Thief. Let's see what the Thief does. He's level 6. So he has an ability, prevent the next card played this turn by your opponent from having any effect. And that's due to this equipment. Cloak of Emond's ability he starts with. So the first card I play every turn is going to do nothing. It's kind of rough when we're only drawing 2 cards a turn. Get rid of haste because I can't play it yet. Ooh, he does a lot of damage for turn 2. He did way more damage to me than I did to him. So the first card I play is going to do nothing. I like swiftness, but I want to be able to play all these other cards. Yeah, I'll feel pretty important here. I'll waste the mana this turn. I think this is a fight we lose easily if I don't have that Corrosive Slash. Looks like we do okay without it. Let's heal, circle, attack. Yeesh. Chains there. What do I want to waste here? Swiftness. Circle, slice. Corrosive. I want to play haste. Backstab is actually lethal already. I don't have mana for a heal. Because my health is low. We're 6 experience from leveling up. Oh, we can pick up these health things, which is why I fought him first, actually, before picking those up. The treasure chest here. Penance. Your opponent takes 2 damage at the start of each turn for the remainder of the fight. So this is pretty interesting because it continues to stack every time you play it. So with a small deck, if you can play that every couple of turns in a long fight, that damage is going to really add up. I need more mana before I can start picking up more spell cards, though. I probably should have upgraded this at that forge. I'm not sure if I had gold for it, actually. Not after buying the other 2 cards I bought. Ooh, healing mushroom. Okay, so we have a shop here. Recycle. Discard all other cards in play. Draw a card. Exile, recycle for the rest of the fight. Oh. I was looking at this last time I saw it. I think I unlocked this recently. I was wondering what it did. And I just realized discarding all the cards in play means if you have more card draw, that you can draw them again and play them again, which you can't do normally. That's pretty interesting. See, ward. Prevent the next 8 damage I would be dealt to you. There's some defense for the Wraith, but I don't have mana to cast it. Sonic Blast. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, deal 10 damage. It's not bad. We get experience here to level up if we felt the need to. I guess we'll fight the Goblin Mechanist. This guy copies equipment you play, and I think he generates 1 piece of equipment every turn. I'm not going to use my mana on heal this turn because I'm only down 1 health. We built a Cloak of Invisibility. Oh, come on. It also says this does 1 damage to us every turn. That's such an annoying effect. That's what the Thief just had. So I know that I have 2 more action cards in my draw pile. So I'm going to waste this attack and hope we draw more to get a big backstab off. Yeah, there we go. So we'll get a 4 damage backstab. Build a Cloak of Fire. Each time your opponent plays an attack card, deal 2 fire damage to them. I'm gonna heal. Oh shoot, I wasted it. Dang it. I'm really annoyed by that. Oh well. Okay, so he dropped a chest. Focus. Draw 2 cards for the cost of 1 action. I like that a lot. Oh, this gave us experience. The mushroom. You have gained 4 health. You have learned Perfect Body. Heal 2 damage each turn. Bonus, choose 1. We can cleanse a card from our deck. Or Alacrity is gain 3 actions and draw a card. I'm gonna take this. We're going all in on the actions here. Oh, and I can meditate. What would I remove though? An attack? Now we have all these actions. Backstab is incredible. Why not? Can't afford anything in there yet. Oh, that goblin dropped a chest instead of money. Let's pick up the rest of these. These were mostly good. One did 2 damage to us. Oh, I didn't get all of them yet. Okay, so we have to fight the Wraith or this thing. Well, let's fight the Wraith, I guess. I still don't have a defensive card and I can't afford that one, so I guess we'll see what it does. Fortunately, we have piercing for being a monk, so his half physical does not matter to us one bit. Huh. I didn't get mana or my backstab, that's too bad. So I know mana is in here. Yeah. There's what, a 1 in 3 chance that I didn't draw it. Just so I could hope to draw it and play haste as well. I'm not gonna bother. Oh, I was drawing an extra card because of circle. I was guaranteed to draw it actually. Oh, here's that Soul Crush card. Deals 10 damage. Your opponent discards 2 cards. This has no effect on players with damage reduction, physical resistance, dodge, or a ward. Oh, that's why. was wondering why it was so specific about, like, you need a defense. Like, it doesn't matter how good the defense is, just any defense actually blocks this. Okay. It's also interesting that they said that he always plays this first. I guess it's just part of his AI. You're supposed to be aware of that. So we had to discard 2 cards and we took 2 damage, or 10 damage. This is tough. That's a lot of cards. I'm gonna do that. Shoot. I was afraid of that. Okay. Get a big turn here. Okay, this is lethal. And we got preparation, so I can delete another card from my deck. Do I delete the last attack? We should rely on backstab and corrosive slash for damage. It's a little risky. Slice is 1 damage too. There are enemies that remove cards from your deck from the game. I've had issues where I trimmed down my bad attacks too much after having like 1 or 2 good attacks, and then those got removed from the game, and then I couldn't damage them. I got soft locked. I had to forfeit. I'm gonna go ahead and do that though, because I don't have any better options right now. Level 7 warrior. So that guy's level 7, and this guy's level 7 but an elite. What's in here again? That penance. Ward, psionic blast. That guy kept... We didn't get to play heal last fight, so my health is actually pretty low. I'm actually really, really concerned about fighting. Need 1 more mushroom for that guy. Might buy some health here. Okay, I just bought 10 health. Not a great use of gold, but what can we do? Ooh, this guy has 50 health. Alright. Oh, come on, where's... Oh, I do have backstab. Good, good. Okay, this is a big damage turn. 13 damage. Heck yeah. Oh, look at this. He's a sword, deal 1 damage for every 2 attack cards he plays. A shield, 20% chance of dodging your opponent's attacks. That's what this is. And armor, prevent the first 3 damage you would take each turn, which is what that is. We have piercing, so we ignore those, fortunately. Okay, we got a nice little engine going here, it seems. I just drew through my entire deck, actually. So that's why I said, like, when you're building around actions, it feels like building in a good deck in Dominion to me, or one type of good deck, which is where you basically want to draw through your deck every turn and get a bunch of stuff done. And you do that through playing cards that give you more draw and more actions, such. He just made me discard 2 of my actions. Oh, he dodged that, so I can't pierce his dodge. That is unfortunate. Drew through my deck again. Oof. Get a big turn here. I need it. Don't dodge. Oh my gosh. We had 1 health. That was scary. Oh my gosh. What was that? He blocked our card. Which is fine, it gets to stay in play. It doesn't look like I even need it to draw through my deck. Okay, ooh. We would not have survived another turn. Oh yes, give me the healing. Mimic, choose an action card in play and copy its effects. Yes, please. Okay, well I have a problem. I don't think I can survive either of these fights. Note that I would have lost that fight if I didn't buy that health either. I can get ward now. I need 13 experience to level up. This goes 5 and then 20. I won't reach that with money by buying stuff with money. Sonic Blast is a good bit of extra damage too. Records to discard a card, and I actually like most of my cards right now. That actually pairs well with if I pick up Ward, because I won't be able to play all my spells. So we can discard one instead. Because right now I generate 4 mana per turn. And I have 5 mana worth of spells. Is Ward even worth picking up it, actually? I probably just want to heal every turn. It's a lot more mana efficient. It doesn't get wasted if the enemy doesn't do enough damage to me. Okay, I don't think I care about Ward, actually. I need a mana card so I can play these. I guess we're going to try and fight the Priest. Let's see if we can learn about our enemy here. I'm afraid of that one because it says it's an elite. A defensive monster has large amounts of healing and shielding, biding time for his prayers to kill you. Tips, outdamage his defenses. At high levels, be aware of the second life from his Phoenix Feather and plan accordingly. I don't think I've seen his second life before. 40 health? I think we're kind of boned here, but we'll see what happens. He starts with Pendant, so he gains mana every turn. We will mimic the circle. So this basically will copy any action card I have in play. That was not a great turn. Okay, so something this game isn't great at is telling you what's going on. This guy played Curse of Weakness, which shuffled 2 curse cards into our deck. That actually hurts us quite a bit. Then he has 2 of these prayers, so I'm going to take 5 damage next turn from this, and from this one, if I don't kill him in 5 turns, he's going to do 25 damage to me. So, yeah, it looks like we're probably going to draw through our deck this turn. Oh, I forgot we had curses though. That might make that harder. Ooh, I got an extra turn from haste. I forgot that. You have a 10% chance to get an extra turn when you play that. That's the first time that's happened. That's huge. What do we want to mimic? I guess Slice is the only thing that does something... They all end up with the same result, except Slice does 1 damage. Oh, Circle. That's what I would have wanted to mimic. Heal a bit, do this, and Backstab is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage now. Unfortunately, we pierced his shield, otherwise we'd be having a lot of trouble here, and I need to discard those curses before I end my turn, otherwise they stay in my hand. Oh yeah, and we get a free turn. I don't get to mimic Circle again, so I guess I will mimic Focus. Just to make sure I draw through my deck. If I drew heal with one of the other cards, then these two would have been stuck on the bottom of my deck. I think I need to heal. Okay, should be able to kill you next turn. Ooh, maybe not with a hand like this. Okay, that's looking better. Okay. We have lethal. Heal is at the bottom of my deck, so let's make sure we can draw that. Play that, and then kill you. Ooh, some tough fights here. Alright, give me something good. Darting daggers at the end of your turn deal damage equal to your opponent. Damage to your opponent equal to twice the number of actions you have left, then lose all your actions. Whoa, that's actually really good for us because I have so many unspent actions at the end of our turn. And each of those turns into 2 damage. I'll easily... I think I've been ending with like 6 actions on some turns. I gotta pay attention to that. This one, at the beginning of your turn, draw the next spell card in your deck. This is a reaction trigger. Your turn starts and all the cards in your hand have different names. Effect, draw 3 cards. I think every card on my deck has a different name. So we would draw 3 extra cards every turn that we draw that, which is kind of interesting. I'm drawing through my deck entirely already. I think we want this darting daggers. It's going to be a lot of extra damage for us. And remember, I have 2 equipment slots, but no equipment. Fortunately, actually I have a decent amount of money now, just not enough for either of those. Oof. This guy's level 7. I can buy experience twice and level up. I'm gonna do that. This is such a waste of gold though. So we get another card draw, and I could take the Mind Seer spell, deal 5 piercing damage, or draw 2 cards. Or I could cleanse again. It keeps offering us cleanse. I think we need everything in our deck at this point. So I guess I'm going to take this. And that card actually seems pretty good. But I need mana to play it. And then I guess I'm going to fight you, because that thing's still an elite, which scares me. To mimic circle. With that thing that does damage based on our action points at the end of the turn, I can start mimicking this to do... It ended up being 4 extra damage. So there's 1 card under my deck. But I don't actually need to play haste to get to that. I can play Mind Seer to save some mana. Or I could pay 2 extra mana to get this 10% chance of an extra turn. But that seems too inconsistent. So I'm going to do that and draw 2 extra cards, and I'm going to discard haste. This guy heals 3 at the start of every turn. He has damage. He has that slam ability. Does damage based on his hit points. Our deck feels like a pretty well-oiled machine at this point, which is... Oops, I did not mean to play that. I'm moving on autopilot. I guess I only missed out on 1 damage. I'm gonna keep playing Circle. I think that's one of our strongest cards. Yeah, look, I ended this turn with 7 action points. That'd be 14 damage with those daggers. We need to get those. I guess I'm gonna do 5 damage with Mind Seer. Oh, I should have kept that in my hand, actually. Because I have 4 mana, I could have played it. Okay, his resilience, damage taken over 3 is reduced to 3, but I have piercing. I think that's not going to matter. Yeah, playing Circle twice every turn is pretty nice. What do I want? Heal. 5 damage. And I'll keep haste. Okay, we have lethal. Let's play heal here. And we may as well kill. Cool. I mean, we still took about around 20 damage in that fight. But we got through it. What's in here? Strike 3. Deal 15 damage. Cost of 4 actions. This is really good in our deck because we have a lot of extra actions, and I can mimic this for the cost of 1 action to do 15 damage twice. And I can actually buy that. That's pretty good. This is 8 piercing damage. Okay, this is the shop I've been looking for. Damage reduction 2 is pretty good too, because a lot of enemies just do a lot of like low damage attacks to you that add up. I want all 3 of these cards if I'm being completely honest. Oh yeah, I forgot we had a mushroom. So that'll let me copy a card in my deck. What would I copy? I think I would copy Circle. Almost feels like I should copy Heal. There are better healing cards in the game. In the grand scheme of things, I have always felt like this is a bad card, but not currently, I guess. Mimic is intriguing, but if you draw a bunch of Mimics and nothing else and you don't do much, that can be a little awkward. I like the idea of drawing Circle. Maybe Focus is even better since I have a surplus of action points. But I always feel like we could just get more cards to use those action points because they're so valuable. Oh, duplicating Backstab is pretty good too, actually. Oh, that's only doing like 7 damage every turn. I don't think I would duplicate any of these. We have here another elite fight. And this is the boss. Level 7 boss. This thing, I think, steals our cards, which it could be problematic in our deck. It could be very problematic in our deck. I guess we're going to take on one of these elites. I don't think I like our odds. So what do we have? A white dragon and a sphinx. Let's look at the bestiary to see what they do. The Sphinx, disruptive monster, forbids the card type that is most common in your hand each turn. Oh yeah, this thing sucks. So if we draw a bunch of action cards, we're not allowed to play any of them. I actually really dislike this guy. I don't know if it's I'm uncertain whether I think it's like a good game design mechanic or if it's just like dumb and it sucks, if I'm being completely honest. Because I feel like it's not easy to have like a diversified deck that can handle everything and then also be able to like take on this, which is what's required. A lot of decks like need to focus on certain things, and this just completely hard counters all of them. And that means you're always, more or less, it means at least half your cards you draw every turn you're not going to be able to play. Let's see, White Dragon. Disruptive monster, immune to water damage, reduces the number of cards in your hand by 1 and makes you discard frequently. Watch out for his Frost Shield, which reflects some damage and make sure your deck is consistent enough to survive a smaller hand. So we ignore the shield. I think we're a lot better matched for that guy. And I think we should... I do need to copy one of my cards here. Unless I think I'm going to get a better card later. copy Circle. I think that just makes our deck way more consistent. Alright, here goes nothing. No damage from water. We have -1 card in hand. It's okay. Because I drew cards that let me draw cards. I'm gonna mimic Circle. Actually, do I want to mimic Focus? I think we do, just so I can draw 2 cards here. I wanted to hit that mana. I'm gonna play Mindseer to draw the last 2 cards in my deck, so I don't use as much mana as Haste uses. Wonder if I should delete Haste, just because I don't have the mana to cast it. We need to discard 2 cards. Slice and Alacrity? Oh no. Oof. Okay. We had a lot of cards in our hand and now we only have 1. And now I don't have the mana to play Haste. That turn sucked. What is this? Dragon's Wisdom, gain 10 mana. Yeah, this Frost Breath makes us discard our cards. So I don't know how many of those are in his deck, but it seems like we got really screwed on that the first time, and then he didn't do it the next time, which is good. So hopefully we can get a good turn off here. I guess I will copy Focus to draw 2 more cards. All with Mindseer. And I'll hold him to Haste. We should be able to kill this turn, so I'm gonna copy... Oh, I don't have the draw 2 card up here. I guess I'll copy Circle. Oh, let's just do damage with Mindseer. Okay, that actually, yeah. We did way better against them than I even thought I did. I knew we were well matched, but that wasn't too bad at all for us. I can delete another card from my deck. Do I want to delete Haste? Also, we can spend money. So I can get these daggers. I think at this point, though, we're better off taking Strike. Because this does 15 damage for 4 actions. And that other one would do 8 damage for 4 actions. Yeah, I'm going to buy that. I think that is going to be really big for our deck. I need to find some frickin' mana. Jeez. I'm afraid to fight the Sphinx. I might just fight the boss. So I think the Sphinx is frequently going to say you can't play your action cards. That's what we're most likely to draw the most of in our deck. And then if we're not playing the action cards, then I'm just playing like 1 or 2 of these per turn. Is not a recipe for victory. And the tip for it said is like to hold these cards in your hand. So you're basically going to spend a whole turn holding cards in your hand that you're not going to be able to use the next turn. So you can play less cards your next turn that you couldn't play before. I don't know. The more I talk about it, the less I like that enemy. Oh, sweet. An anvil. More mana, baby. 6 mana per turn. That changes a lot. make us want to buy, like, take this or anything? Penance? We play Penance every turn? Do scaling damage, 2, 4, 6, 8. Ooh. I don't think I was supposed to take that, but I want to try it. I think I'm just going to fight the boss now. I don't want to... I think that Sphinx is going to wreck us. Oh, and I can also meditate. Do I want to remove haste or not? This draws 2 cards and sometimes gives us an extra turn, but it costs a lot. I'm gonna get rid of it. So I just added a card. It's a good card. I just don't have the mana to support it right now, I feel like. That makes our deck a little less consistent to draw through. And actually, geez, I'm not doing anything with this hand. Well, I'm doing a ton of damage with it, actually. Oh my gosh, this guy has 120 health. I want to keep Mimic for next turn. But yeah, do 2 piercing damage to them. Okay. See, that reduce all damage incoming by 2 would have... So this guy did 10 damage to us this turn. He would have done 2 if I had that spell. Let's go ahead and... what I think this guy does is he slowly, like, eats your cards. So I think you're supposed to play your bad cards first, so he might eat them first. It's like a 1/3 of a chance every time you play a card, he steals them, and then they're removed from your deck. There it is. 35% chance when an opponent plays an attack, action, mana, or spell card. The card has no effect, exile for the remainder of the fight, and heal 5. This guy might wreck us. If he steals like our mana card, that's a big problem. There's a lot of ways we could end up in some pretty big trouble here. But for now, that was an excellent turn. We'll see how this plays out. So I want to bait that out with cards I don't mind losing as much. I think he probably doesn't have one in his hand this turn if he hasn't hit yet. I have 9 action points. Just drew through my whole deck. I'm gonna Mimic Strike. So we could just get a lot of damage on this guy. Because I'm afraid of what could happen if this fight goes on too long. What does this do? Exile target equipment or prayer card. Okay, I didn't have any of those. It did nothing. This game just drops a bunch of cards here before you can see what they do, and then effects happen, and sometimes it's not always good at communicating what's going on. Okay. Alright, I was trying to bait that out. I don't have any bad cards, but I tried to play like what I feel are the ones that I could get rid of the most, and hopefully he doesn't have another one. Okay. Oh, you only have 5 health. Okay. That card does 5 damage. Cool. Tough fight. We leveled up. We can either delete a card from our deck, which I don't know what to delete at this point, or we can gain health, so let's take the health. I'm gonna skip the Sphinx. We have 71 gold here. I can pick up this Earth Shape, which I'm really tempted to do. I could grab the daggers. I think we're starting with a lot less action points now. We're ending our turn with less. So I don't think they're quite as good as they were before. I think I'd rather have this Earth Shape. We're going to do that. I don't think I'm going to buy anything else. We'll save our money. I really need to find another mana card. And we're going to go to the next floor. And we get to choose another talent. Immortal, the next time you die, your health is instead set to maximum and you're invulnerable to your next turn. Purity, choose up to 3 cards from your deck and delete them. Cruel, your opponents take an additional point of damage from each of your physical sources. Fluid, the first time you play an action card each turn, draw a card. That's pretty good for us. We play an action card every turn, so it's like +1 card draw. Desperate, when you have 15 or less life, draw 3 additional cards each turn. Gold, another action. Equipment. Slot, we have 2 of those we're not using already. Copy a card in our deck. Copy the mana card, that's actually not that bad at this point. It's like such a weak card, but it's actually one of the best things our deck could do. Because right now I have spells that do 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Do I know how to count? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7. I generate 6 mana a card a turn, or 6 mana a turn, but I have 7 spells, or 7 mana worth of spells to play every turn. This is not as bad as I realize. I could skip playing Penance some turns or something. Okay, I'm not going to copy mana. I've talked myself off the ledge. I wouldn't mind duplicating Circle again. Or Mimic. I think this life saving could be pretty good. The extra card draw from this would be pretty nice. So they're life saving that, or card duplicate probably. The gold's not bad. Well, let's take the extra card. That sounds pretty good. Alright, and this video is running quite long here, so I guess because all the explanation and stuff, this is running longer than expected. I think these runs are usually, for a full one, close to an hour maybe, at the long end usually, so all the explanation and commentary made this one run out. So we're going to do a part 2 of this, and I could die really quickly here, so hopefully I don't. But I hope you enjoyed that. It's a cool game. I don't know if I said this before, but I don't know if this is a good game or a bad game. And I guess the truth lies in the middle somewhere. I think it's an interesting study, though, for sure. There are some definitely cool mechanics going on with the cards, and it's really... They really pioneered this like roguelike deck builder thing. And for that, it's got some cool stuff going on with that. But a lot of the modern games have improved on this formula and are a lot better. So I don't know if I would really recommend like people to pick this up and play. And also just I wish there was more like to the aesthetic of the game just to make it a little bit more pleasing. It's pretty rough to play and look at. Like I don't know how anyone played this long enough to figure out that it was a good game, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but it's just like when you see a game that looks like this, you don't expect much from it, and it's fortunate this one surprises you. But I'm not usually, there's so many games out there, I'm usually not willing to give a game much of a chance if I see something like this. But this one came so recommended, and I will give games a chance if people tell me like to look past that and check it out. That's what I did here. But yeah, that's Dream Quest. We'll wrap this up at another point. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next, or see you around for that next episode. Take it easy, guys.